witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.
Small boats, huge adventure. There it goes. Seems to stall every now and then. That intro. It's it's Thursday, the 5th of June, and boy, it'll be the 13th very soon, and that's when we're expecting Renaud maybe. So it's kind of cool. Had a couple of entries, very challenging entries, and there's a whole group of boats up in Vavau. And everything's looking good. We've had some fun, which I'll explain when we get back to the Q&A at the end, and get a few people on board. The excitement here was still on the hard, and there's the Ocean Film Festival on Sunday, but sadly there'll be no one here. But there's another film festival connection happening when most of the fleet will be here, so that'll be fun for them. Anyway, the tracker's here, so let's go over and have a look. G'day, John. Warren's there. Very good, because Jane's not monitoring at the moment, I don't think. She's rushing off into town. So that's cool. All right, here comes the tracker. You've got the tracker. I've got the tracker. And we've got Renaud and Kerry in Pangai, and we've got Eric heading down, giving it a wide berth. It's actually quite interesting because see these patches here, these dark blue patches are actually shoals, and he seems to be giving it a wide berth. He's going to have to turn the corner here going in, but this shoals are not rocks. There's one bit that gets really shallow, but the thing is, as it shoals up, because you've got the Tonga Trench out there, which is one of the deepest parts in the ocean anywhere in the world, you get currents and you get funny wave formations and patterns and things like that. So I'm sure he's probably aware of that, and we'll come around and there we go. So we can talk about everyone's arrival when we get there. Dan anchored off overnight, and Christian just got in this morning. So we'll keep going right back because Popeye and John are on the move. Here we go. We come with the weather. There's the wind coming up. Come. Yep, there we go. So having a nice trade wind ride there. The wind on the port quarter, keeping them quite happy, no doubt. So plenty of speed there. We should be seeing that anyway. So Mike is doing 4.7, 116 mile day. There you go. And 119 mile day for John, doing 5 side by side, a little bit separated, but they should still be looking at each other, still having fun. And if we quickly zap that a day forward, the weather's the same. Day 6, the weather's building up a bit. They've got a few yellow patches here. That's sort of 25, 28 knots. And the sea will be building for them, I would say, at that stage. Yeah, starting to get a bit pink. So going two meters up to about, so ranging up to 3 meters in a couple of days. So fast trade wind sailing for them, which is fun. And then, we want to come back to the wind. We'll shoot down here for Gary. Oh, jeepers. That's interesting. He's sitting in a hole there, which is some sort of inflection going on, doing 2.6 knots, 70 nautical miles in a day. He's just stopped, which suggests to me, we didn't see this yesterday, this thing, whatever it is forming over the top of him. I don't think you might see it in the pressure gradient. You're just seeing there's a pressure thing happening there. So that's generally instability. He'll have plenty of, there's a bit of clouds, a bit of rain up there. He could be, I think he'll have some stories out of that lot. He's got his own, completely own system. In terms of rain, there's a bit of rain out the side, but nothing right there. So, and you can see the trades are distorting around all this stuff. A lot of instability here. That's suggesting potentially squalls, but it's a bit hard to say, but it looks like it. So I look forward to hearing from Gary, see what's going on there. And he's basically stopped. He's basically sitting in this big calm patch, going not very far, and you can see here, it tells you straight away major wind direction changes. So he's got all sorts of stuff going on there. It's a long time since we've seen that against the trade. So he's got his own story to tell, and we'll wait until he tells us, but he's basically made 70 miles on track, and I'd say this has all happened in the last sort of 6 hours, obviously. So, okay, we'll leave that and see what evolves. Boy, I should give a picture of that one. I'll take a screenshot later. Gary's own little storm, or whatever it is, own little system. So Josh doing 4.2, 107 mile a day, pretty much trade winds, but it's starting to move. And in fact, I'm thinking now, because it's definitely switching around. So we've got the big system coming up from the south, which is going to create the northerly wind shift through north, northwest, southwest coming up, and I can see it's already having an effect. It might be moving faster. So I'll just come back a little bit here. Yeah, you can see a lot more wind down south than what Josh has got, but he's doing okay. Jasmine and Urton getting a bit side by side by the look of that. Jasmine might be racing Urton to get in because they are in a bit of a rush to get in before these northerlies come. They're both going to the bow, and Jasmine's doing 5.1 knots, did 124 mile a day, and Urton did 116 miles, so Jasmine caught up 8 miles. And Urton's doing 4.6, but yeah, they'll. I think they're going to arrive just as it goes north, and it might just round up on them and send them up the channel into Vavau. So not too bad. We'll work out their ETA in a minute. 5.2 knots for Adam and 111 mile a day. Jacob 5.2 knots and 102 mile a day. Jacob's as usual sounding very happy. They're going to get in before this northerly wind shift, so that's kind of cool. And if we start to pick this up a bit, I'll do the ETAs in a minute. Once again, you can see, I think that this happened yesterday. If we look at the tracks here, when Dan Turner, Canadan, came in, he actually anchored overnight here. He came in the dark and didn't want to go up the lot. So he took off again at first light and got in, but it probably cost him about 10 hours or something in his position. Bye-bye, Jing Jing. Goodbye. And then this morning, Christian turned up pretty much just after first light. So he must have approached in the dark and then came around and made pretty fast time, because you can see here, if you follow his track, he went from... That was his previous position, and then 4 hours later he's here. So he's transited right around and he's got in. So that one there was his 4 o'clock position. So that was 4. So that's 4 o'clock in the morning. He's actually coming up the channel. He's got a good motor. He's got the most powerful electric motor in the fleet, and I'm not sure what wind he would have been getting. It doesn't show you at this scale. Would have been an easterly, could have been sailing, but anyway, he's done well to come through here in the night. Must have been reasonably settled, and then he's anchored right over there, probably about 7 o'clock local time, or 6:30 local time, so only about an hour of daylight. So that was Christian's story. All good there, and then coming down here, we'll do some ETAs, look at the weather going forward, let that catch up. It's all a little bit slow, so put the wind back in. We lose the wind when we go to the close-in view there. So I'm going to go right back because we want to see what's happening with this system down the bottom. And for those that haven't seen it, here's what's going on. There's a massive high-pressure system here, a real dandy, big one. So there it is there, and that's driving the weather. And it's going to come, that's all going to the east. And these northerlies here are going to extend up. It's distorting the trades, and they'll start to roll around. So just a quick overview to explain that. If we zip through there for a day, you see that this high's gone across, and then come through another 2 days, it's all sort of gone, but the wind has all changed. It's become very unstable behind it, light and so on, but it's gone through north. And then here's the transition. There's a trough going through here. Here you've got this northerly winds, and then down here you've got southerlies. So it looks like it's going to go from north to south and not southwest on the way through. But it creates an area of instability. From the north, you always get clouds and overcast and possibly rain coming down. And as soon as it goes to the southwest, it usually, if we were talking about weather at 30 degrees south, as soon as it goes south, you get blue sky and fluffy clouds again. But because we're so high at 20 degrees north, It may still be cloudy while it's coming through the whole gambit, but in the southern parts, a bit further down, that's how you can tell. When you've got this northerly, northwesterly, it's overcast, raining, and if it's blowing 25 knots northwest, when it swings to the southwest, bang, it'll come in at about 30 knots for half an hour or something, and then it'll settle back to just under the 25 knot northerly, usually, sort of. I'm stretching it, telling a bit of a story there, but okay. So to come back and explain this, there's some changes. I think Josh is going to slow down on this. So here we go. I'm just going to push that through one step at a time. Get my other keyboard up here. Boom, boom. Okay, so it's still easterly. That's looking okay. We're into the 5th at 13, 16. So it's just starting to swing. So that's all UTC. So by this time tomorrow, is that right? Hang on, I keep getting completely ballsed up there. Yeah, it's 2000 now. So we go through in 24 hours. It's swinging around. It's going northeast, and then it's going to be solidly northeast. So by midnight, it's working about the same time. So midnight on the 5th, we're starting to transition to this northerly. Reasonable breeze still for Urton and Jasmine, so that's okay. I'm going to come up here now so we can see the direct effect. Eric will be in, so that's easy. And then carrying on, so this is the 6th, so there it is, northerly. So it's going to be a solid northerly by 1200 on the 6th, which is actually midnight on the 6th here, local time. So, yeah, they've got a day and a bit to get in if they're if they're worried about the conditions changing, and then by midnight on the 6th, the trough has arrived, and it's going northwest, but it's going then straight to south. That's interesting. So there's no southwest at all. So that's kind of a good thing. So northwest, that's where you get the seas coming in Pangai, and it's not going to last very long, only about 6 hours. So it won't have a chance to build, and as it's going, it's pretty calm, so the wind's not strong at all. So Pangai should be okay. But anyway, changes there. Then it's a southerly. I think so. This is midday on the 7th, so Josh is going to have a very quiet time, I think. Anyway, we can see there that the transition is about to happen. So if we look at distances and ETAs, I'll just come back here. So Urton and Jasmine, from now, they're 196, so that's a day and a half. Maybe a day and 3/4, so morning. They might get in just before dark. There's a pretty good breeze, so just under 2 days, day and 3/4 from now, or let's see how fast they can make it. Josh, on the other hand, he's 5 days away. He's going to go through all this, so he's going to slow down, and let's see what happens after that. But there's no dramas. It's just going to be nice, pleasant sailing. We'll turn up the music, cook some more tucker, and have a good time. There is sea state. Well, you can see this would calm off when the wind's swinging. It gets a bit more confused. So that's about it. All right, I think we're just about done there. So I'll come back here. So the issue that we've got is that I gave Renaud some bad advice. You'll remember when they were coming in, I was saying, everyone's going to Vavau, so that's cool. But I was thinking, because there's attractions in Vavau and there's attractions in Pangai. Anyway, cut the long story short, we're running the GGR and the OGR, and we're doing all accounts for the last year for tax and all that sort of stuff, and working on the boat, and we've got Explorer happening, blah. Anyway, to cut a long story short, Renaud called me days ago and said he wanted to clarify the situation going port to port. So he's entered into Vavau, and he wanted to know, just clarifying, that he can go to Pangai and then depart from there. And I was actually not even here. I didn't have my computer with me, bits and pieces. And Renaud was pretty good. He sort of understands, and he's on the ball with everything, and he likes checking. And I just, without thinking, because I had a lot in my head, said, "Yeah, that's okay. Yep, you can go down to Pangai," thinking it was like Marquesas. But in actual reality, later on, I realised once you got there that hang on a sec, they're supposed to be in the one spot, because that was part of the idea of not getting them moving all over the place, so they get to spend their time in one spot and have a bit of a break and absorb the culture and stuff. And it's very clear in the notice of race as well. We say very clearly that all entrants must cross the line in Pangai if they're going to Pangai, but there are 2 alternate ports to consider. And it says very clearly that the process for either port in Vivau, you get there, you clear, and then you have to stay the whole 8 days there in Vivau, and then you depart from the same place. And if you go to Nuku'alofa, which is in Tongatapu, the southern island, when you arrive, you go an anchor stop. You don't have a finish line. You have an anchor stop before you go to customs. You enter, you stay there for the whole 8 days, and then you clear and go. So I adjusted all that with Renaud, because he's now approximately 15 miles closer to Fiji. So he will delay his departure 3 hours to compensate for that extra 15 miles. Sadly, some of the other boys and girls, or some of the other boys, up in Vivau were thinking they could have a nice cruise, because Renaud told them, "Oh, looks like we can go south." And now they're all locked up in Vivau, but that's the name of the game. So they too should have actually contacted me and said, "Hey, look, the notice of race, not notice of race, the sailing instructions say we've got to stay there for the whole 8 days, but now we can go to Thingo." Because Renaud was also saying he's not sure about his aptitude with English and maybe didn't read it right. This is after in the explanation. So anyway, we sorted it out. So Renaud has a 3-hour delayed departure from Pangai, and everyone else can sail around Vivau. There's some great stuff. There's Swallows Cave. There's some really good snorkeling, and the whole whale fleet's working out of there. So if they want to go whale swim, they could join the whale swim fleet. Plenty of restaurants, bits and pieces, and they will all depart from there towards Fiji. And getting here, we are expecting Renaud on the 13th, maybe, the 13th. It depends on the weather when he comes through. So it's all going to start happening from there. Anyway, let's see. I've only got 2 questions here. So sometimes I'm thinking that I'm doing the updates too often, because now everything's filtering off. Sometimes there's not a lot of changes, but it's interesting. So we'll keep going as long as we can. We're going to launch the boat tomorrow, which is cool. So depending on what time they turn up, we might be delayed on the time, but let's wait and see. So, okay, all good. Thanks for that. If all goes well, we'll see you tomorrow. Have fun. Another weekend coming up. Boom, boom.